Well, going right across to the Economic Editors Conference in the capital, where the Finance Minister is taking questions from the media on the rollout of this latest scheme.
Of currency within a short period of time. So the first reason was the logistical reason of making it convenient for the people to convert, to exchange their old notes or deposit their old notes and get the equivalent or whatever value, I mean the quantum, whatever quantum they wanted to draw. That was the first reason, the logistical reason. Second thing is that between 2001, when 1000 rupee notes were introduced, and now 15 years have gone and the value of rupee has also depreciated. So that also had to be kept in mind. The third reason, the third point I would like to mention is that the Reserve Bank of India is going to monitor and release the, monitor and regulate the release of 2000 rupee notes. And in the due course, in the next few months, the 1000 rupee notes will also be brought into the market with a completely new design and new dimension, new design, new color combination, which will look distinctly different from the old one. So this is the background in which the 2000 rupee notes were decided to be introduced. Thank you.
Please ask your question.
वित्त मंत्री जी, मैं अहमदाबाद से हूँ। कमोडिटी वर्ल्ड न्यूज़पेपर है मेरा। मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि कमोडिटी फ्यूचर ट्रेडिंग में आपने ऑप्शन ट्रेडिंग का भी अभी परमिशन दे दिया, आगे जाके कमोडिटी फ्यूचर ट्रेडिंग में बैंकों, म्यूचुअल फंड और एफआईआई को आप परमिशन देंगे? और
Can you kindly repeat the question again?
Can you repeat please?
ये कमोडिटी फ्यूचर ट्रेडिंग में अभी आपने ऑप्शन ट्रेडिंग को परमिशन दिया है, आगे जाके आप इस ट्रेडिंग में बैंकों, म्यूचुअल फंड और एफआईआई को परमिशन देंगे तो कब देंगे, और कमोडिटी फ्यूचर ट्रेडिंग का भावी कैसा रहेगा?
इसी कमोडिटी ट्रेडिंग में एफआईआई इनको परमिशन देने की कई सुझाव आए हैं, उस पर अभी तक कोई डिसीजन, कोई फैसला नहीं लिया गया है। अभी द मैटर इज अंडर कंसिडरेशन, सेबी में इट इज अंडर कंसिडरेशन है। अगर सेबी बोर्ड में व्यू लेके उसको वो रिकमेंड करते हैं और अंडर द लॉ इफ एज ए रेगुलेटर दे कैन परमिट, देन सेबी they will take the decision. If it requires to come to the government, to finance ministry, it will come. But अभी तक इसमें कोई no decision has been taken. And let me also add here that the commodity trading, like the securities trading, like the stocks and the shares, also is entirely on non-cash transactions, and it's a part of government's effort also to promote this, all this trading through non-cash means. But to answer your question specifically, at the moment there is no such decision.
Yeah, please ask your question.
Yeah, this is Manojit Shah from the Hindu Mumbai. Have you factored in the impact of this recent step of cancelling 500 and 100 rupees note, which will impact some sectors like construction, etc., on economic growth? And if so, how much is that of current year's economic growth?
You see, there are some sectors which have been conventionally cash intensive, and therefore in the short run there could be some impact on them, but over a period of time I think it will work itself out.
Yeah. Please ask your question.
My name is Srinivasan. I'm the editor of the Hindu Business Line in Chennai. Two-part question relating to demonetization. As you are aware, a bulk of the transactions in our agricultural sector happens in cash. And what do you foresee as the impact of this demonetization on the agricultural economy, particularly since the procurement season is upon us? That's part one. And B, there have been certain limits imposed, and you yourself mentioned that the limits are also related to the tax laws. So for exchange of currency, but agricultural incomes are exempt from income tax. So would that mean that there would be no limit placed on exchange of...
You see, the exchange limits are only for the first 2 weeks when there is a restriction on the quantum of cash which is available. In any case, whether agricultural transaction is dealt with in cash or through a banking transaction, it will remain tax-free. And therefore, it would be in the larger interest of farmers, even if they are nudged to put their collections into the bank, because it's more secure, it is probably interest earning, and in any case, it doesn't attract any tax liability. So there is no real reason why he should keep it in cash and he gets any advantage out of the cash. In fact, the advantage of putting it into the bank would be far more, and it still would attract no tax.
Sir, good morning, sir. Ramesh Sharma, editor, Open Eye News and Business Search, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. My question is that, sir, despite clear-cut instructions for Reserve Bank of India to provide all facilities, particularly for the physically challenged people, the ATM staff of our banks do not follow the rules and regulations, and there is no provision of ramps, no availability of barricade paid other facilities. So how far the ministry is going to consider this problem? And second one, sir, it has almost 16 years have been passed. The insurance sector, in the insurance sector there are more than 15 companies working in. Still the uninsurable population, percentage of uninsurable population are not improving.
You see, as far as the first is, I take it as a suggestion, and I'll certainly ask the Secretary Financial Services to bring it to the attention of the banking system. I'm grateful to you for having brought it up. As far as the second issue is concerned, you see, we've been doing our best in order to increase the penetration of insurance. Today you have more insurance companies, you have expanding businesses. Even the schemes that the government for the weaker section had brought about with regard to both accident and life insurance, they made a runaway success, and therefore they have penetrated insurance services significantly and shown to the people the advantages of that. But then in a more structured manner, insurance needs to expand. That point is well taken.
Our friends from Delhi have been very cooperative. Thank you so much. Yeah, that one. Yes. Yes.
Sir, good morning. Pranav Mukul here from the Indian Express. Sir, regarding the withdrawal of the 500 and 1000 rupee notes, eventually going down the line, how do we ensure that the new notes also do not become a part of the black money transactions that are happening? Eventually, like you said, that the new notes will become a usual part.
Please bear in mind that this is not an isolated step. You have the currency squeeze which will take place as a result of this, because a lot of static currency is not going to come back into the market. You have the GST which will be implemented, which is a far more effective system, where tax evasion will be much lower, tax compliances will be much higher. You have a parallel movement on in order to rationalize your direct tax rates itself. So these are all steps which are being taken in tandem, and the collective impact of all these steps and the deterrent impact of this step that we have taken, I think will be a great disincentive. But that it will get totally eliminated in future is something that I cannot say today. But certainly it will be disincentivized.
Yeah, Sisi.
सर शिशिर एबीपी न्यूज़ से इधर सर सर एक खबर जो बहुत तेजी से वायरल हो रही है सोशल मीडिया पे कि अब जो नेक्स्ट स्टेप है वो बैंक लॉकर्स पर भी है, क्योंकि गोल्ड को लेकर के जो है।
आप सोशल मीडिया की हर खबर पे विश्वास मत किया कीजिए।
सर तो यही पूछा था कि ये क्या ये बैंक लॉकर को डिजिटल बनाने की जो बात कही जा रही है,
ऐसा मैंने नहीं सुना है।
थैंक यू।
प्लीज आस्क।
Cash to GDP ratio in India continues to be very high, about 12%, while the global average is about 4%. So how much time do you think it will take to reach the global average?
I can't give you the time, but I think the present exercise is intended to reduce that 12% significantly.
Yeah, please ask. Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Remember, as the Honorable Finance Minister said, that is also going to be affected by all the other things the government is doing to incentivize cashless transactions. So it's a combination of that will help accelerate, reducing the cash to GDP ratio.
Yeah, please ask.
Sir, Manoj Kumar from Reuters News Agency. Sir, with the increase in bank deposits after government's measure, so do you see that this capital adequacy ratio will be changing for the banks and government may need less money to recapitalize the banks?
They'll still need money for recapitalization, but obviously the kind of resource available with the banks would increase.
Yeah. Let's come back here. Yeah. Which one?
Vishwanathan, editor, Industrial Economics from Chennai. Mr. Minister, you mentioned about building a consensus in regard to major issues along with the states. Tamil Nadu has been opposing this being part of GST for its own reasons for quite some time. It's one of the few states which has not still passed the GST bill. How far have you succeeded in understanding the problem and trying to build a consensus with them?
Well, to be fair to the state of Tamil Nadu, it was the only state which had said that they were not in agreement with the GST idea. But once the GST is approved as a constitution amendment, it applies to the whole of the country, including Tamil Nadu. And therefore, notwithstanding their view against GST, I must say to the credit of the Tamil Nadu government that their ministerial representative and officers have been participating in the GST Council. They have been more than actively participating, and they are a part of the larger consensus which is evolving on all these issues.
Yeah, push please. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. I'm Prabodh Jamwal, editor Kashmir Times, Jammu and Kashmir. I just want to know what has been the impact on revenue collection of the central government so far as the disturbed conditions in Jammu and Kashmir are concerned. And second thing, how much is the impact of J&K's demand with a related question on GST?
You see, as far as the taxation returns are concerned, we've extended the date as far as J&K is concerned because of the disturbances. I won't be able to give you the revenue offhand, but J&K is the only state because of Article 370 which has to separately decide what it wants to do with the GST. I think J&K is well aware of the fact that the GST once implemented will go to the advantage of Jammu and Kashmir, for the simple reason that Jammu and Kashmir as a consuming state will stand to benefit from the GST, and therefore they have to evolve their own architecture as to how to get into the GST platform itself, so as also to be avail the input credits, etc. And I think the J&K government is working in that direction.
Yeah, please ask, sir.
Yes. From Northeast, Kesabdang of Mizoram. 10% gross budget sharing with donor ministry, practiced since 1988 for purely developmental works in the Northeast area. I want to know how far central government kept the policy.
You can answer it.
You see, the arrangement of the NLCPR, as we call it, that is 10% of every allocation of every ministry, is earmarked for the northeastern states. And whatever is not spent during that year goes into a common pool, it goes into a separate pool of resources. And from that, money is made available for projects and schemes in Northeast for implementation. So as and when the state governments in the northeastern states, in consultation with the Department of Northeastern Region donor, as and when they pose schemes, the Finance Ministry releases money out of this NLCPR, that is, the pool of resources which we have for the northeastern states, and that's an ongoing and continuing exercise.
Yeah, please ask your question, please. Yeah. Speak into the mic, please. Yeah. Yeah.
So my question is that you are levying great tax on coal. Why you are not sharing it with the states like Odisha and other coal-bearing states? Question number one. And question number two, Central is trying to levy the corporate tax, corporate cess on the states. Why inefficiency of the state government is not levied? That is the second question. Thank you.
You see, what is to be shared as a part of the devolution is shared. The central government also needs some revenue to sustain itself.
Yeah, please ask me.
So just in the black money crackdown, there's been a regime change in the United States in the last 24 hours, one that people believe have the potential to change the global economic and political landscape. Mr. Trump's views on immigration are not very kind to the Indian IT sector. We've seen a serious amount of nervousness in the markets as well. Where does India stand amidst this regime change really, from a government point of view?
Well, if a world's large democracy through a democratic process elects a government, I think it is, everybody has to respect that verdict.
Yeah, please ask.
कमल किशोर, नौ बिहार टाइम्स बिहार से। देश की, खासकर बिहार की ग्रामीण अर्थव्यवस्था को मजबूत बनाने के लिए आपके पास क्या प्रमुख योजना है?
देखिए, ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में अधिक साधन लगे और केंद्र भी अपने साधन जो लगाता है वो राज्यों के माध्यम से ही लगाता है, और इसलिए जितनी आर्थिक स्थिति मजबूत होगी और आने वाले वर्षों में जितने भी साधन आएंगे, ये सरकार की एक प्राथमिकता रहेगी कि ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में वो जाए। तो ग्रामीण सड़कें, रूरल हाउसिंग, इरिगेशन, सैनिटेशन, इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन, स्कूल्स, इस सब में जो साधन जाने हैं वो सरकार की जो रूरल एरियाज में आमदनी बढ़ाने की भी योजना है उसका एक अटूट अंग है।
Sir, Timsi from CNBC TV 18. You said that soon 1,000 rupee note will be reintroduced with a new design and security features. Is there also plan to reintroduce 100 rupee notes and the other denominations with new design? Because
so the big news that is coming in is the 1,000 rupee note is set to make a comeback as well. Rupee 1,000 note to be reintroduced with new design and dimension is what the Economic Affairs Secretary has told the media person in this news conference, that 1,000 rupee note will be reintroduced in the next few months as well. And this is an important step because you had the 1,000 rupee note that was discontinued by the government from Wednesday midnight. Now, after banks have opened, you will get 500 rupee notes, the new ones. You'll get the 2,000 rupee note, the new one. And now you have the 1,000 rupee note as well, which will make a comeback. My colleague Supriya Bhartwaj joining us on this story. So, Supriya, you've been in the news conference, and this is one of the important announcements that we're looking at, that small investors need not worry. Crackdown will be only on those who have not disclosed their income so far when they're going up to the banks to exchange notes or to make a deposit. And third, that it's not in the end of the road for the 1,000 rupee note.
Well, Devina, it is really interesting that the central government has announced that rupee 1,000 note will be reintroduced in the market. Also, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley cleared that there won't be digitization of the bank lockers. There was a news which was very viral on the social media that after this crackdown on the currency notes, the next move will be to ensure that the digital lockers be introduced. Also, the Finance Minister has said that the states will be given the assistance. The banks will be working on the weekend to ensure people get facilities, the bank facilities. But introduction of 1,000 rupee note again is a really big takeaway. Already the opposition has been crying hoarse as to why, if the crackdown was on the big notes and to curb the black money, why the government introduced 2,000 note, and now with this announcement being made that 1,000 rupee note will be reintroduced into the market, we will be seeing a political blame game going to the next level. On the other hand, as far as the people are concerned, across this national capital as well as the country, Finance Minister has assured that all the measures are being taken by Reserve Bank as well as the other agencies, including the police, and all to ensure that a peaceful transaction of money takes place. However, there will be a crackdown on people who have been holding money and are now coming out to disclose that this much amount, which is above 2 lakh, were with them.
So essentially, the Congress MO acts the government's new scheme is demolished, Supriya, because till yesterday you also had the former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram going on record and questioning how is the black money hoarding going to be checked. What's the logic behind discontinuing the 1,000 rupee note? And that's also been a question which many people are asking, that all the 2,000 rupee makes it convenient for transactions, but why discontinue a lower denomination 1,000 rupee note? Now let's not forget, and let's tell our viewers that it's the first time that you have 2,000 rupee note which is made debut in the Indian currency system. But Supriya, it is a shot back at the Congress party which has criticized the government's move to introduce 2,000 rupee notes.
Well, certainly yes. The government has now this time revealed a detailed plan as to how they will be checking the menace of black money. They have said that there will be better checks and balances placed. GST will be rolled out. There will be increase in the tax collection, as well as there will be decrease in the black money hoarding. The government has systematically placed things, and they are saying that when the entire system is going to roll out, we will be seeing that the black money menace will be curbed. So as far as the opposition parties are concerned, we will be seeing as to how they will be reacting to this news.
Absolutely.
But as far as the government is concerned, they definitely have a solid, well thought of long-term plan to curb the menace of black money in the country.
And also the finance minister said that this move will definitely impact the spending habits of people, but the big takeaway and a shot back at the Congress coming from this news conference. Supriya, thanks for joining us. The 1,000 rupee note to be reintroduced, a move that was first questioned by the Congress party.